that there is utility in us recognizing that there are a couple different audiences out there right now listening to this. I think that there is indeed a group of brothers and sisters who are confused, bro. They are like, they're like, I'm trying. I feel like I was there. When I first started hearing about critical race theory, there are individuals who I have a lot of grace, charity, love, respect for that are showing up to this conversation and then beginning to say things about social justice or critical race theory, which is not the same thing, or anti-racism, or even works like Ibram Kendi's Stamped from the Beginning, so on and so forth, or Divided by Faith. You know, there's these
Color of Compromise.
Color of Compromise by Jamar Tisby. There are all these things being said about folks that when I engaged with them before I knew that y'all even cared about this stuff. Like I didn't know folks I got Ibram Kendi's book when it came out.
I did, yeah.
Many years ago.
And when I was reading Ibram Kendi, a lot of people weren't talking about how bad he was.
That's right. Stamped from the Beginning is a historical work. It is not.
He's a historian.
It's not him taking sides. It's him explaining using primary sources from all kinds of founders, Puritans, pastors, so on and so forth about the reality of whiteness and blackness. A lot of it is literally direct quotation. So I don't understand, but I want to because there's an audience out there that is saying I'm caught in the middle. It's people that I should be listening. I think I'm supposed to listen to who are saying one thing. I got other people saying that it's not what they are saying it is. Then there's a group of individuals out there who are like, I don't care what this thing is, as long as the guys that I think are the leaders of the culture war say it's bad, I'm on their side.
Right.
So what we saw happen this week, and I do want to say this. Let me just say this one thing about the article that you wrote, which I thought was very, very good.
Thank you.
First of all, I count it joy to speak the truth as accurately as I can, that I can go to sleep at night knowing that I honored God in what came out of my mouth. And people get angry with me because of it. It's opportunity for me to share in the legacy of the people I'm trying to be like. Because everybody that I want to be like, including at the top of that list, the Lord Jesus Christ, was never able to be truthful, honest, and courageous without consequence.
Right.
Courage cost. In this conversation, I want to serve. I don't so much want to clear anything up as much as I want to serve those who are willing to listen, willing to learn, and bring clarity, not for those who are trying to figure out if they like KB still. All right? That's not primarily my audience right now. My audience right now is you, dear brother, dear sister, who is either on the fence. I'm trying to figure out, what should I do with what's happening in the world right now? Christianity is in the news again, okay, for something that doesn't really have to do much with Jesus. Okay, I'm just being honest. Once again, we're headlines. We're taking up a mantle, taking up a war, and it's not about preserving the truth of the gospel. In fact, a lot of this conversation isn't even theological. It's completely outside the realm of weighing who God is. And it's completely in the realm of how we relate to one another. And unfortunately, through all our rhetoric, through all our arguing, through all our positions, the flavor of it, as far as the world is looking, and let me be honest, let me also remind us that the Bible, Jesus says in Matthew, to let your good works show, so that men, people that don't know Jesus, would see it and then be brought close to him, glorifying our Father in heaven, meaning that there is supposed to be a kind of reaction to the non-believing world, that they should be able to look at us and make some assumptions. Maybe they'll throw rocks at us because they hate our righteousness, okay? But the idea is that they would realize, like they did for the first century saints, the empire would say, we hate these atheists because they deny our gods and they only worship one. Justin Martyr was talking about how they were criticized because they kept taking care of the poor. And they were criticized because they were sharing things in common. They were criticized because of their compassion and their love. They were seen as stupid. Justin Martyr said, they look at us and say it's like they belong to another world. Like they're not down here with us, trying to achieve the status of the empire. Those aren't the things being said about us. It's getting to the point. If there is a suffering group of people in our country, if you were to tell whoever they are, set race aside, just human beings who are being sort of subjugated or falling under some kind of weight of danger and threat and destitution. If you were to tell those people, hey, don't worry, the Christians are coming to help you. If they were to take their interpretation of what is seen as mainstream Christianity, I am almost convinced, bro, that they would most likely say, could you send somebody else? So as we are in the media, as we're being talked about, that the flavor in which Jesus sent us out in to speak truth in love, to have compassion and hearts of sacrifice and service, the kind of good Samaritan people, is not the narrative. That's not what we are known for, and that bothers me deeply. So my goal is in what I say and do to move us into a vision of the Christianity of Christ as opposed to the Christianity of the land, because those are two separate things. With that being said, if you're out there and you have questions, we hope that this conversation and Southside Rabbi in general, if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, I'm sorry, shameless plug, please subscribe, not simply because it gives us numbers, but we really work, pray, and bring people in to this conversation, not this conversation, but all kinds of conversations for the purpose of your joy and your development in Christoformity. That's what we do here. And we hope to be a resource. So if you are looking for that kind of conviction, but also cultural relevance, please subscribe and join our tribe.